Then I was doing some thinking yesterday. It's always good to be doing that. Hello, hi. Today is a Saturday and I've had a very productive day. Woke up early, did the routine, and then went to the bookstore. And then I went to get this facial situation that my friend gifted me for my birthday in September, and then I finally used, and it was lovely, and I look so hydrated and refreshed. Then I came back home and I read one of the books that I bought, and I then went for a walk, and now I'm gonna clean up my beauty drawer because it's a mess and it bothers me, and I always try to clean it up but it doesn't work. So that's happening today. I thought I would give reading vlogging a go, since I kind of took a very weak stab at it during my Spain trip. But you know, if at first you don't succeed, you try again. Let me show you the books that I got. Okay, so this morning I had watched, so I read this book's vlog. I think it was her wrap-up video, I don't remember, but she mentioned how she read Ties by, and then so I went to the bookstore trying to get that. I couldn't find that. Instead I found this, Trust, which I think she also mentioned she read, and I don't know, I was kind of in the mood for something that would tug at my heartstrings in a weird way, make me anxious kind of. Weird, but I think this is great. I'm loving it. I'm already 54 pages in, and it's exactly what I like in a book. You know, it's quite humorous. We have a man who is anxious and paranoid. It's going by really quickly, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm feeling the tension. Then, the reason I had gone to the bookstore, my end of year book tag, when I was editing that, it made me realize that the newest Garth book had came out, so I went and got that. Terciel and Elinor, they really did the series dirty with this cover. Not my cup of tea, but it is what it is. Speaking of which, today is just such a lovely day, and all I want to do is read. It makes me want to go to a cafe and read, which isn't really something that I often do, but that's what I feel like doing. I'm not going to do that. Instead, we just have a day of productivity. Yes. Okay, bye. And I also thought, you know, I'll show you my little situation. I finished this candle by Otherland. I loved it. It was so good. Great. Hello, hi guys. Today is Monday, almost Monday of Mondays. I have worked. The day kind of flew by. I'm tired, but I got some packages. Exciting. Which would be pretty obnoxious if I hauled it. I did some reading yesterday. I'm trying to read about 2-3 books. Oh, Trust by Domenico, someone. It's going well. I really enjoy it. I feel like we're inching closer to something horrible happening. I have so many thoughts, but I feel like I want to wait to talk about it. But I don't know if that's actually smart. The novel is about a man who is consumed with self-loathing, as he's highly critical of himself, which I think most people probably are, and has an expectation of who he is and who he'd want to be. And I'm halfway through, and he's kind of coming to the realization that he's actually becoming the man he had hoped he would be, but there's still this tension in the writing, which is really interesting. I'm still wearing the same sweatshirt from before. I'm also reading Durga's collection of essays. I'm enjoying them. I kind of switched around my reading of them. So at first I was going through the first essay and it's really quite long and I wasn't enjoying it. So I went all the way to the end and I'm working backwards from the last essay and etc. And tomorrow I have dinner plans with friends. So I will take you along then because otherwise we're just gonna be here. Cool, well, see you later. Yesterday I went to dinner with my friends and I was going to film, but work was popping off, so I kind of forgot, which is unfortunate because the food was great and I'm sure you guys would have loved to have seen it. And then today I have a half day, but things are popping off, so I haven't signed off just quite yet. But this morning I finished No One Is Talking about Patricia Lockwood. It was interesting. I am struggling a little bit to figure out how exactly to talk about the book. The first half centers on a woman who's a social media sensation for kind of being an internet provocateur, and the internet is called the portal in this book, and so she's speaking like these little snippets of wild things that it's just very indicative of how the internet is, how we have these fads, how there's trends, how weird jokes kind of develop and are formed, and how do you explain them to people who aren't as terminally online. Then there's like a turning point in the middle of the novel where she receives a text that she needs to come back home immediately. The flap of the book tells you that like there's going to be basically an emergency back home, and I wasn't expecting this emergency because I don't really know a lot about Patricia Lockwood. I hadn't read any reviews of this book prior to dipping into it. I read the NPR review after reading this book and they just tell you in the first line what happens. But I don't know if I want to ruin it for you guys because I do think there's value in not knowing a lot and then going into a book sometimes. Then the tone starts to shift, but we're still very much so removed from the narrator. We really don't know a lot about her per se. Like, the descriptions are almost sparse about the actual physicality of her locations and where she is. So it's not a conventional novel. It's interesting because it's also based a little bit, I think, on her experiences, the narrators, that is, the authors of Patricia Lockwood's own little family emergency. And it's interesting. I'm still digesting, so I don't fully have thoughts or like, I can't arbitrate on what I think of it just quite. I feel like people are pretty divided on it. They either love it or don't. I gotta think about it some more. So that's that. Then I'm still reading Trust. I'm hoping to finish that. And No One Is Talking, no, sorry. Too Much and Not Enough, the Durga book. That should be done. And then I'm trying to wrap up a lot of books in the last 6 days of November. I just want to bang them out. Another thing, I've been wondering what kind of clips to film while vlogging. I would love to know in the comments, what kind of vlogs do you like? What vlogging style do you prefer? Do you want to see little moments? Do you prefer music in your videos? Like, there's so many questions. I want to know what people like. Yeah, so with that, I'm gonna get back to finishing up with work and catching up on some YouTube. There's a lot of really great videos in my subscriptions. But then it's gonna get tanda. I'm gonna sign off of this vlog, but before I do that, I just wanted to kind of walk you through a few of the books that I got over the weekend. I know I wasn't the best vlogger. It's okay. What can you really do? Hopefully you guys will let me know what kind of vlogs you like. If you made it this far, and then I can try to be better. That's all we can really do. The Aunt Who Wouldn't Die, which has a really great, you know, text to line spatial arrangement, seems really good. Almond, which I think is a story of two young boys and their friendship. Mona, another slim book with a great cover that I think will be very intense, but we're here for it. Then we got The Switch by Beth O'Leary, which I was bullied into getting by my sister because I had read Flatshare and finished that very quickly. Then finally we have these two by the same author, No Longer Human and The Setting Sun, which I've heard so much about and I'm excited to finally read. So yeah, that means that essentially my December will be very busy, filled with lots of reading. And since I'm moving in the new year, I've got a lot to do, but it's okay. One day at a time. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hit that like button, maybe subscribe if you feel inclined, and I will see you soon.